showing Jenny watching her idol rock band's concert with Ryan. Jenny really admires Jason, the lead singer, which is why she likes the band so much. During the concert, Jason throws his clothes into the crowd, and that makes Jenny even more fascinated. Wanting to get closer, Jenny boldly climbs over the crowd and luckily manages to reach the stage. However, her attempt is stopped by Alexis, which makes Jenny feel really annoyed. One day, Jenny and Ryan get the chance to work during the summer at a resort in the Caribbean. Jenny immediately accepts the offer because the resort is Jason's favorite place. But when they arrive, Jenny runs into Alexis again. Alexis warns Jenny not to get close to Jason because she feels Jason belongs to her.
Up your med.
After that, they are taken to their room by the resort manager named Chase. After showing them the room, Chase explains their duties. Jenny is assigned as a pool attendant, while Ryan becomes a general staff member who will replace other employees if someone is absent. The next day at work, Jenny invites Ryan to hang out together in the evening, but Ryan's answer sounds strange and confuses Jenny because she doesn't understand what he means.
Get for touching boobies.
That night, they go to watch a dance performance. While watching, Ryan tries to give Jenny a hint, but Jenny doesn't catch on. That makes Ryan feel awkward.
You're the only one who seems...
No.
2 days later, Jason arrives at the resort with his bodyguards and manager. Jason's arrival is warmly welcomed by Chase because of his status as a famous singer. Ryan also tells Jenny about it, even though he actually has feelings for her. Hearing the news, Jenny is very happy and immediately tries to meet Jason. This time she succeeds, but can't talk for long because Chase quickly takes Jason to see the villa where he's staying. After taking a shower, Ryan tells Jenny that Jason won't be staying long because he has a concert in Washington tomorrow night. Ryan also says that Jason is throwing a party on a yacht tonight, then asks Jenny not to expect to meet him again. Hearing that, Jenny doesn't respond and immediately walks away from Ryan. That night, Jenny sneaks onto Jason's yacht, disguised as a waitress, just to meet him. When she's about to serve food, Jason suddenly leaves because he feels nauseous from drinking too much. Jenny, who is already there, briefly asks about his condition, but before Jason can answer, a big storm suddenly hits and throws Jason into the sea. Jenny screams for help, but no one hears her. In the end, she throws a rubber boat and jumps into the sea to save Jason. After managing to get onto the rubber boat, Jason tries to shout for help, but the ship is already too far away, so no one hears him. Somewhere else, the boat owner named Jack tells Ronnie, Jason's manager, that Jason is not with the group and one rubber boat is also missing. Ronnie is shocked and asks Jack to start searching immediately, but Jack says the weather conditions are too bad to search right now and that he will report the incident to the Coast Guard. The next morning, Jason, who has woken up, feels scared when he sees a fish approaching their boat, but it turns out not to be a shark, but a dolphin, so Jason calms down again. Not long after that, Jason sees an island not far from them. With hope, he invites Jenny to paddle toward the island. When they arrive at the island, Jason pulls the boat to the shore, but unexpectedly, his foot gets pierced by coral, causing him pain. Jason then asks how they are going to get off the island. Jenny tries to look for help but doesn't find anyone. She comes back and explains that they were probably carried away by the storm and stranded far away. To send a signal, Jenny fires a flare, but it goes the wrong way and ends up deflating their boat. At the same time, Ryan, who is at the resort, feels devastated when he hears that Jenny is missing at sea with Jason. Meanwhile, back to Jenny and Jason, they can only give up after realizing their rubber boat is deflated. Jenny explains that they only have a medical kit, a lighter, and 3 candies. Even so, Jenny tries to calm Jason by saying they can still survive on the island. After that, Jenny tries to find food like coconuts, crabs, and fish, but she doesn't manage to get anything. Seeing that, Jason starts to lose hope and says they could starve to death there. Jenny tries to encourage him by reminding him that he's a famous singer, so a lot of people must be looking for him. After that, Jenny tries again to find food, but when she's about to take some bird eggs, she ends up falling. When she comes back up, Jenny is shocked to realize she's actually in a swimming pool. Without thinking much, she immediately grabs food and eats until she's full. After that, Jenny goes back to meet Jason from behind the resort and tells him that they're actually safe because their location isn't far from the resort. But Jason, who is panicking at the time, doesn't really listen. Instead, he says he can't imagine living in that place without Jenny. Hearing that, Jenny changes her mind and decides not to tell the truth so she can stay with Jason. After that, Jenny pretends to go look for food, but she actually goes to a nearby store. When she returns, she makes a simple shelter and gives the food she bought to Jason. The next day, while Jason is still sleeping, Jenny goes to buy fish and shellfish again, then pretends she got them from the sea. In Jason's eyes, it all looks like Jenny's own effort. That night, Jenny says that maybe Jason's girlfriend is worried. Jason answers that he doesn't have a girlfriend because he's too busy with his work. Jason then asks Jenny back, and she also says she doesn't have a boyfriend yet. Jason is a bit surprised because he thinks Jenny is beautiful and smart. He also says that even though being stranded isn't pleasant, he actually feels happy because he's with Jenny. That makes Jenny feel really happy.
Got it.
One day, Jenny's secret almost gets exposed when two people pass by near the beach, but Jenny quickly distracts Jason so he doesn't notice them. On the other hand, at the resort, Chase gives a bill to Ronnie. Chase explains that the party who was supposed to pay has refused because Jason is not there. Seeing the large amount, Ronnie feels unable to pay it, but Chase insists that Ronnie still has to settle the payment. Back to Jenny. At that time, she has run out of money to buy food. Because of that, she desperately goes back to her room to get some money. But before leaving, she takes a shower first. After that, Jenny comes out and immediately runs into Ryan, who turns out to already be there. Ryan immediately hugs her and asks what actually happened. Jenny says the story is quite complicated, then takes Ryan to the back of the resort to see the situation directly. When they get there, Ryan is shocked to see Jason on the beach. Ryan says what Jenny is doing is very dangerous and could be considered kidnapping. Jenny explains that everything just happened, and now Jason has started to like her after they got to know each other. Jenny then asks Ryan to help her win Jason's heart. After being pushed, Ryan finally agrees, even though it's hard for him because he secretly also has feelings for Jenny. But while Ryan is buying supplies for Jenny, Alexis starts to get suspicious and secretly follows him. When they arrive behind the resort, Alexis is shocked to see Jason there. Ryan immediately asks Alexis not to tell anyone about it. Alexis agrees, but she actually has her own plan. She pretends to be stranded on the beach, so Jason ends up helping her. Alexis then makes up a story that her boat was hit by a storm and she's the only survivor. Jason, who doesn't suspect anything, immediately believes her.
Hunger.
Alexis, who wants Jason's attention, starts going further. She even messes with Jenny on purpose and makes Jenny's teeth look black. Of course, Jenny doesn't accept that. She goes to a store to buy something as payback. That night, Jenny carries out her plan, and this time, it works. Jason starts to avoid getting close to Alexis. The next day, Jason reveals that he actually prefers Jenny. According to him, even though Alexis has an attractive appearance, he doesn't really like her. Hearing that, Jenny feels very happy. While they're together, Alexis shows up after seeing someone passing by on a horse behind them. Jenny, who notices it, immediately tells Jason to sing to distract him so he doesn't see that person.
But I've been waiting here for you on my mind.
At the resort, Ryan tells his friend Misha that he likes a woman, but he doesn't dare to confess because he's afraid of being rejected. Misha suggests that the key is confidence and not giving up easily, even if he has to be rejected many times. Misha then challenges Ryan on whether he has the courage or not. Ryan says that he does. After that, Ryan goes to meet Jenny with a different appearance. When they meet, Jenny says that Alexis's presence makes things more complicated. Ryan suggests that Jenny should tell Jason the truth, but Jenny refuses because she feels Jason has started to fall in love with her. Hearing that, Ryan feels disappointed and almost leaves without saying anything. But before he actually leaves, Ryan comes back and finally confesses his feelings to Jenny. Jenny gently rejects him and says they're better off as friends. Before leaving, Ryan says he already expected this from the beginning because it's hard to compete with a famous rock star. After rejecting Ryan, Jenny finally tells Jason the truth that they are not actually stranded in a remote place, but are still in St. Lucas, specifically behind the resort. Hearing that, Jason immediately gets angry because he feels lied to by Jenny and Alexis. Before leaving, Jason says that he will sue both of them. Not long after that, a storm suddenly hits. Jenny leaves the place. On the other hand, Jason has already made it back to land. Ryan, who sees the storm from the resort, gets worried and decides to look for Jenny even though Misha has warned him because it's dangerous. Ryan heads into the forest, and at the same time, Jenny sees Ryan's car. Since Ryan isn't there, Jenny tries to use the car to save herself. But her attempt fails because a fallen tree is blocking the way. As a result, Jenny gets trapped inside the car and can't get out. Luckily, Ryan, who isn't far from the location, hears Jenny's screams. He immediately comes and saves her, then takes Jenny to a cave to take shelter. While inside the cave, Jenny says that Ryan has saved her life. The next day, Ronnie feels relieved when he sees that Jason has returned. Ronnie immediately asks what actually happened. Jason explains that night, he felt nauseous at the edge of the boat, then fell into the sea. Luckily, a girl saved him, and they ended up stranded on an island. At first they thought they were really stranded, but it turns out they were still on the beach behind the resort. Jason also reveals that the girl didn't tell the truth from the beginning. Hearing that story, Ronnie tries to calm Jason down. He says they can arrange a story so the public believes that Jason was truly stranded. After that, Jason asks Ronnie to call Jenny. Jason wants Jenny to help him explain to the public what happened while they were missing, and Jenny just needs to follow the storyline that has been prepared. Because she keeps being pressured, Jenny finally goes along with Jason's plan. At first, everything goes smoothly. Even though the story Jason tells isn't completely true, the situation is still under control until Alexis shows up and makes everything chaotic. Seeing the situation becoming dangerous, Jenny quickly takes over the story to save Jason's career. Jenny says that the one who was actually stranded with Jason wasn't her, but Alexis. Meanwhile, the story that Jenny was stranded and had a relationship with Jason was just made up to cover Jason's relationship with Alexis. Jenny also says that she actually already has a boyfriend, which is Ryan, who is standing behind them at that moment. Hearing that, Misha, who is there, feels satisfied because his advice to Ryan wasn't in vain. After that, Jenny walks over to Ryan. In front of him, Jenny finally confesses her feelings. She says that she loves Ryan because he is sincere, brave, and always cares about her. On the other hand, Jason can only accept the situation. Even though he also has feelings for Jenny, there's nothing he can do. To keep everything from falling apart, Jason has to keep pretending that Alexis is his future wife, so everything doesn't get exposed. For Jason, that's definitely not easy, because he actually doesn't love Alexis, and that's where the story ends.